Christmas is soon approaching, and in this video, we're going to be looking at, are you going to get snowfall, or will you get rain? Will it be warm, cold? What kind of weather will you be getting on Christmas? Hi, I'm Palmy, and feel free to come with me through this video and check out every region of the United States, including Alaska, and regarding will you get snowfall, what kind of precipitation, again, what kind of weather are you going to be having on Christmas? First area of the United States I'd like to start with is going to be the Northeast. I'm going to be talking a little bit about our most recent weather right now. So we're going to talk about the weather right now, but also the weather just on Christmas as well. As of right now, though, if we look on the satellite radar or the satellite, you can see lots of cloud cover over here right off the coast of the Atlantic. This is due to a little bit of a surface low that's formed off the west or eastern coast of the U.S. And this is going to be bringing precipitation over here to regions, especially Massachusetts. Massachusetts will be getting hit pretty hard. This is a GFS run. I'm going to look at the RAP run real quick so we can get more initialization closer to the time frame. You can see as of their observations, you have this low pressure again right off the coast here. And if we look at the northeast here, regions here are just below freezing. Regions close to the ocean are a little bit warmer, but dew points, moisture, lots of moisture right here. And as this surface low gets closer, you're going to get right in that zone where you want to be for a nice amount of winter precip. You see our winter type precipitation here again. Here's our surface low. Lots of that precipitation right here on the coast. Also, some lake effect stuff over here in New York and Pennsylvania. Maybe some orographic lift from the little bit of mountain ranges here. There's a lot of ocean effect and lake effect snowfall, especially right there closest to the surface low here in Massachusetts. Excuse my bird. But lots of precip right here. Almost like a total snow accumulation. I do like to look at that. And right in that one spot in Massachusetts, you're seeing Rat Run has a lot of precip coming for you. Regarding the rest of the Northeast here, again, snowfall today looks pretty likely. Tomorrow, it really matters what's going on in the future too. So if you look at the larger scale pattern here, you can see lots of cold air is being intruded. You have this low pressure here as well, which is also zipping towards this low out here. They'll kind of combine that could help again with that snowfall. But all of this high pressure on its way will mean you're getting very cold air. You can see 9 degrees here, maybe a high of about 13 degrees there in New York. So not super high. And some regions here, again, very, very cold. I'll get temperature anomalies from the GFS. Again, much colder than normal over in this whole region. And that is going to work. That's going to be your weather pattern for the weekend. However, as is the case for a lot of the United States, we're going to see a lot of warmer air coming in. You can see another low pressure here. This is an Alberta Clipper. If you watch this surface low, it zips right here from Canada, kind of zips through the U.S. Now a bunch of moisture associated with it. This will be affecting your pattern on Christmas Eve, and as you may guess, Christmas Day. So first of all, low pressure will bring in a lot more warmer air from the south. That'll help to warm you up on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day itself, again, will you be seeing snowfall? That is a little bit of a question because you have a little bit of warmer air. Here's Christmas morning. More of the southern regions, most likely not. Again, there's a lot more warmth from that low that just moved through. Regions down here, less likely to see snowfall. Also, the fact that we have a lot more, it's a lot more continental, maybe even Arctic air that has intruded into your region. The dew points aren't going to be amazing. There's not much moisture to be had for snow. So unfortunately, falling precipitation does not look too likely. If you look at snowfall here, um, you can see maybe some a scattered flurry or two. There's one here. Maybe a little bit of lake effect if you're lucky, but most likely not going to be seeing much snowfall on Christmas Day. However, if we look at the total snow depth what's on the ground, you'll see lots of areas in New York will be covered in snow. In regions closer to Canada as well will also have snow on the ground, just something falling out from the sky at that point in time. And for some of the more southern regions, you'll probably see some melting going on throughout the day. So there's possibilities if you're in southern Pennsylvania, then you'll be seeing some, um, you know, you'll watch your snow go away on Christmas. It's a little bit sad, but that is going to be your weather pattern. Next area of the U.S. I'd like to look at is actually going to be the Southeast. So they'll kind of combine some of these states you haven't seen yet. If you live in the Southeast, you probably are expecting you won't be seeing snowfall. Let's look at your weather pattern as a whole. So tonight you're going to be seeing a lot of colder air. You can see if you look at again broader scale pattern. Even 500 millibars, you have this very strong trough that's helping to push a lot of your air towards the southeast, including colder air from Canada up here. Like the surface, it's a very similar story. And this low here is bringing a pretty stretching cold front right here. See all the colder air behind that, and that will also be affecting south. You can see that even better on some 850 temperature advection here. Again, broad area of the eastern U.S. is under cold air advection. They'll just keep getting colder for you guys in the southeast here. However, that's only going to be for tonight, well, maybe a little bit of tomorrow. You can see again much colder temperatures for much of the south here. But going into Sunday, you will be getting, again, high pressure will help to spin your flow anticyclonically. And due to the nature of, again, multiple troughs out here, we talked about this a lot last video. So this is another clipper system here. Same one we talked about in the northeast. This will be causing a surface low forming up here, and it will bring a lot more southerly flow. So you'll actually get some warmer air from the ocean, the Gulf, and just going up here, which also includes southeast down here. So we'll be getting warmer for you guys soon. And just continuing, again, low pressure will be dominating for a while here. I do excuse my bird. Low pressure will be dominating a lot here. And you'll be getting a lot of southerly flow, warm southerly flow, especially on Christmas. If you look at precipitation on Christmas, even simulated reflectivity, quite a lot. Um, 6 hour accumulations here. This is for rain and stuff, but you can see a lot more precipitation, especially in Arkansas there. So that's something to look out for. I'll look into that a little bit in a second, but that's the main thing driving your pattern. On Christmas, it's not going to be snowing. It's mostly going to be raining, especially if you're in the western, these states over here, Arkansas, Louisiana, parts of Texas and Oklahoma. That's going to see more precipitation. Whereas if you're in the Alabama, Georgia regime, maybe Florida, again, just kind of warmer, more mild, but it won't be as warm as usual, but it will be warming up throughout the day there. So we'll see how that goes for you guys. Looking at the Central Plains now, really just, no, honestly, it's really the plains as a whole. It's a very similar pattern for you guys. We have this, again, large scale troughing we talked about off of the Rocky Mountains. This is going to be bringing a lot more warmer air from the south. Warm air from the south that's coming into your region, however, is mostly for right now. So again, back to the 500 millibars, you can see here's pretty large scale ridge, so that will keep you warmer for a while here. But you do have, again, 850 temperature advection and warm air advection across much of your region. And then again, that trough comes through colder air advection. Go back into warm air advection, and you're gonna get more mild. So begin the period here, you can see a lot more warm air advection. However, in the future, you'll be seeing cold air. So it goes warmer, then colder, and then, well, actually, it's starting colder too. So it's starting cold, getting warm again, getting cold again, and then you'll see more mild temperatures. And this will be the same at the surface here again. It's cold right now, it will be getting warmer soon. See, especially right here, and then colder afterwards. Again, more Arctic air until you're more mild. So much of this region here will be more under the 40s, 40s, 30s. Somewhat typical December temperatures. I believe the GFS actually might say this is more so warmer than normal. Oh yeah, much warmer than normal actually. So usually I suppose usually you'd expect more 30s and 20s, maybe 20s and 10s actually, but right now it's a lot warmer. So you will be above freezing for Christmas. Most likely not seeing anything like any snowfall. You won't be seeing any snowfall. Maybe some rain if you're more in Missouri. That's more of a Midwest section. And actually, I'm going to talk about the Midwest right now as well. For our last region of the Eastern U.S., we're going to look at. We talked a lot about those clippers, and actually, right now it is snowing. So if we let's look at the RAP model. Actually, let's look at our mosaic radar real quick. So some regions here it is snowing. Let's say our snowfall has ended in Illinois, but we were just getting that last night and this morning a little bit. See areas over here in Michigan seeing some snow. Some regions in Ohio, even West Virginia here. But you have a good amount of snowfall already falling in some of these states. If we go back here again, this makes sense. You have this pretty large scale trough. However, right now the western half over here, lots of colder air and much drier air. So that's going to be moving away. You can see right now it's 18C, excuse me. It's 18C again. Colder air is making its way in, and there's not really much scent right now, just because of the fact that this is a lot more stable air on its way. Let's zoom out a little bit again, just because I'll go between sectors here. Here's 500 millibars again. You can see a little shortwave right there. Like, wrong time frame. A little shortwave. That's not as important. Right now, it's more about the next clipper that's on its way. So you can see right here, at the end of the period, this is on Sunday, you have a little bit of a low pressure here over Montana and kind of that Canada border up there. This will be coming with a lot of vorticity. So you can see vorticity advection. GFS has a similar thing. NAM has a similar story. Again, vorticity will be advecting, um, making that helps to form surface low. So vorticity at 500 millibars is useful for surface cyclogenesis. You see in the NAM, the NAM run does begin to form this cyclone. Another kind of clipper we talked about, but not super intense, and that is kind of important. So regions up here in Ontario actually could see quite a lot of snowfall on the 23rd. Late precipitation type again, definitely more of a Canada setup here. But you could see some lake effect snow if you're in northern Michigan, maybe Wisconsin, and if the wind vectors were somehow to make their way more south, you might see some more lake effect snow in more southern regions of the Great Lakes. But most likely, this trough will be kept more to the north. So that means your real area to look out for is going to be your northern, Michigan, Wisconsin, that regime. After this, also again, more low pressure on its way. You can see colder air, but you have low pressure in the south this time. This will be affecting more so warm air into your region. Likely nothing below freezing. You can see here, this is Christmas morning. If we zoom in on the Midwest, I already have, this is actually Christmas, the Christmas Eve, midnight even. This is the midnight central time. You already have above freezing over most of Illinois at this point, regions near the Great Lakes. Then as the solar heating begins, again, much of this region is not freezing. You're also on the northern half of a surface low, and that could be bringing you some precipitation as well. Not intense amounts, but definitely some precip. So maybe some rain on Christmas for you guys. Regions and maybe regions close to the lakes could see a lake effect flurry or two. You can see a few of them pop up here and there, but again, snowfall for the Midwest does not look likely. And this isn't surprising. I talked about this in my last video. The temperature anomalies are just ridiculous right now. Here's the GFS. Almost all of the United States right now is above average in temperature, so it's not surprising we're not going to be seeing much snowfall if you just look at this. However, there is one region where we're going to be see snow. It's actually the Mountain West over here. So let's talk about why. It's actually kind of interesting setup. Reason you guys are going to be seeing snow is because of this trough right here. And to see what happens to this trough, you have to look at the Pacific Ocean. So here's the Pacific Ocean. Over here, you can see here's Mexico, California. Here's the West Coast. Then Alaska here. It's actually Russia out here, and I believe that's even Japan on this end. We have this high pressure ridge over Central Pacific right now. This is helping to cause a lot of vorticity and spin in the more northern regime. So you're seeing a lot of troughing going on over the Pacific Ocean at the moment. This is just leading to a lot of atmospheric rivers actually on their way towards the US, especially that west coast. So if we look at the precipitation, like precipitable water, at initialization of the GFS, you have this pretty well defined atmospheric river. And then again, as we move on here, yet another, lots of precipitation right there. And we're getting closer to Christmas time here, but you have even more water right here. So here's Christmas Eve. You have, again, some leftovers of that last atmospheric river that pushed into your region. But if you watch over the Mountain West here, you're just getting, this brings a lot better moisture right there. You can see a little bit of greens. That's actually pretty important. So if we look at our precipitable water anomalies, you can see that at the beginning of the period, it's a little bit drier out here. Let's actually go back to this sector. A little bit drier out here, but you can see moisture begins to advect in here. So here's Sunday, likely some. I'm pretty sure there'd be some precip then as well. Probably snowfall even. Let's see. Yeah, that's associated with some snowfall. That precipitable water coming in. Let's see. Let's go back. Lost my sector. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry about that. There it is. Standardized anomalies. Again, lots more moisture. Christmas Eve and then into Christmas Day as well. Just a little bit more moisture there. And actually, you can see what we talked about in Arkansas as well, in Illinois. A lot more PY over much of this area here, which is important. So it means you're above average on water in the atmosphere, and that could really help to have some precip. Talked about southern Illinois likely seeing some precipitation, Missouri. That's kind of why. And then the next days afterwards as well, you can see the anomalies even building up here into Ontario later on as well. Yeah, on Christmas, you're gonna get the above average precipitable water. You can see there's, a little bit right there, as well as you have a 500 millibar trough moving through, and this will help to lead for some lifting. And you have the mountains, which also help for lifting. So as a whole, you're going to be seeing some snowfall, seeing some regions in Utah, especially. Christmas, maybe midnight even. You're seeing some snowfall out here. Christmas morning, definitely over Utah and all that. Also, you can see up here a little bit of regions in Maine, even Washington. Throughout the day on Christmas, you'll see some snowfall in the Four Corners states here, then into the next night as well. So you'll be seeing some snowfall here in Utah, but frankly, that's the main area of the United States we're going to be seeing any real white Christmases is going to be in the mountain states over here, just because they really thrive for snowfall. And lastly, Alaska, we'll look at real quick. We talked a lot about that. I talked about a lot about troughing in the past few videos. We talked about that just now. You're gonna be seeing a lot of surface lows, back to back to back. There's a surface low. There's more surface lows. There's a lot of low pressure for you guys, and that means in particular regions along the coastline. That's where you'll be seeing some precip. In particular, I wanted to look at the Panhandle region. So again, if you can't really see Alaska, let me. Here you go. Here's your states. So here's Alaska. Here's the Panhandle. There's Canada, and then there's the lower 48 down here. Go back to the surface again. Moisture is everywhere. You're next to the ocean, but it's definitely confined more so to that coastline. This means that regarding snowfall, and over the next few days, you'll be seeing more snowfall here first because your wind vectors are pointed right at the coast right there. Then as we move forward, this starts to move over to the Panhandle regions near British Columbia. Over here is where you'll start seeing all that snow because you get all these lows right here. Actually, that's a pretty intense surface low right there. That'll help bring probably a lot of precipitation right there along the coastline. And then on Christmas morning, again, just one strong low everywhere. And this will likely be bringing rain over the Pacific, but right along the coast, that's where you see that snowfall. So, real regions of the United States that will see snowfall for Christmas is the Alaskan Panhandle, regions in Alaska and Utah. A very low amount. Maybe some flurries in the Northeast, maybe a flurry or two in Michigan, but regarding real snowfall falling, it's going to be in Utah and Alaska. And even the GFS here has on this precip not even being snow. Actually, some of these regions are actually going to be rain according to the GFS model. So that's also interesting to look at. But Christmas will most likely be pretty green across the U.S. And again, this is due to just a very intense area of higher temperatures. I mean, it's the entire United States. We talked about this last video, but so much of the U.S. right now is going to be under low pressure. See, here's a very broad. Let's even look at standard height anomalies. Right here, it's definitely lower pressure. Actually, Canada is seeing higher pressure, which is interesting as well. But lots of regions are going to be warmer than usual. However, there will be some snow on the ground for some regions, especially more of your northern regions. But even so, throughout much of the day, even regions in Illinois, you'll have your snow melting throughout the day. And really just not much snow on the ground across much of the U.S. So, unfortunately for those snow misers out there, you won't be seeing much snow on Christmas. It's unfortunate to hear about. I think we're all dreaming of a white Christmas, but unfortunately, we probably won't be seeing much really anywhere. So, I hate to be Debbie Downer in this video, but that will be our weather pattern for Christmas. If you enjoy this type of video, please let me know in the comments. Your support has been appreciated. I've been seeing positive feedback for these videos, the 5-day forecasts, and I do enjoy making them. Good practice. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. Again, if you enjoy these videos, like, maybe comment, especially those are really useful. Subscribe, anything like that helps me out. So with that, have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you all next time.